So much for being here, and I really do hope you're doing well. Guys, I've been loving the Highlander M50 rucksack. In fact, if you've missed that video, check it out up there. And you guys know I've got a bag and box fetish. I love them. But the M50, while it's been pretty great to me, and I'm still going to be using it, recently, when I've been going out, I've been stuffing it full, literally bursting at the seams, and I've been struggling to get the zips closed because I've put so much in there. So I don't want to overstress it. I don't want to break the zips. I don't want to destroy such a good quality bag. I think it'd take a lot to do it, but I think I'm sort of pushing it to its limits. What am I doing out in the wild that requires so much gear? Well, I'm just trying out new and fun things. Sometimes that just means you have to pack more, or if you want to do more days, you have to get more in there. So I've needed something, probably twice the capacity sometimes, and I've been hooking things onto it, pouches onto it, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to get myself something bigger, always something stronger and better, and that can only really be found in one place, in my opinion, and that is the British Army issue gear. And I'm loving it. You know, I'm kitting myself out slowly with all the British Army issue gear because it's really great quality, it's very affordable, and it does the job in a lot of cases. So I grabbed myself one of these. This is the British Army Bergen. Okay, let me talk you through the features of the British Army Bergen. It's genuine army issue, so you know it's going to be great quality. It's DPM pattern, as you can see here. That's disruptive pattern material. That is an older style of camouflage, but it is still very good for the UK, especially any kind of woodland area. It works extremely well. Some even argue that it works better than the MTP. I'm on the fence with that because I have a lot of MTP wear, and I think the MTP works very well for the types of forests and woodlands that I find myself in, whereas other people say that the DPM works better for them. So you have to make your mind up on that, but I'm not adverse to using either. I think they're both very, very good. It's packed up with things at the moment. I've taken a few trips out very, very recently, so it's not packed up with actual things ready for a trip. I've just kind of put a lot of different things in there. And I've actually got a bedroll in here, down the length here, all the way from top to bottom, just to show you that you can conceal your bedroll. So it's not a typical load, but it's got a lot of the things that you would need in there. I'll unload it in a few moments' time and show you what's inside. But I thought I'd just talk you through some of the obvious features that you can see and are better to see while it's full up. Obviously, we have a large pocket on the front here, flap lifted up Velcro. And then we have a zip, nice strong zip, as with all of these British Army wares. I've got some various things in there, and it's got a sort of semi-permanent, semi-waterproof kind of layer on the inside there. The material itself is 1000 denier Cordura material, so it is extremely, extremely hard wearing. The whole of the pack has various compression straps. You can see some on the side here, some at the front there, there's some others around there, and around the back we also have the different compression straps to change the belt, for example, the waist belt and the arm strap, so you can get ultimate comfort when you're wearing the pack. Just a side note, we have a grab handle here. I see a lot of people using this is the grab handle. It's part of the molly webbing. If you pull on this, it is not designed to be the grab handle. So if you fill this up with a lot of weight and start pulling on that, don't be surprised if the stitching comes undone. Although I would hazard a bet that due to the fact that I know the British Army materials and manufacturer so well, that it's not going to come undone. It's solid, but this is the grab handle just above the shoulder strap. So always when lifting, grab with that. You may want to use this as a supporter or just to manoeuvre things the way you want, but you know, I wouldn't be grabbing it by there. It's not its intended purpose. We have a massive large hood here with 5 litres worth of storage, and the storage you can get to via a side pocket here. It actually is 2 separate sections. There is a top section here, and then underneath there's a separate section in the same part of the hood. The lid, sorry, not the hood. Yeah, so you get to that via zip access, and I have things in there. Then we come to a skirt, a large skirted area that is held in place by very nice kind of toggle. I haven't really seen these toggles much before, but I do really like them. Essentially, you can just pull them tight without having to sort of pinch the toggle, but to undo them, you do need to pinch the toggle. They work very well, and that opens up into a large inner compartment. You have to undo this one as well. Again, more compression options for you, so you can always make sure that this is nice and snug. You're not going to have things rattling around on you. Things are going to pack well, and you're going to be able to carry them without excess movement. You're not going to end up with excess blisters on your back and things like that. Inside of here, at the back, I'll have to show you when I've unloaded this in a moment. There is a back support, a metal back support. Around here at the back, we have padding. We have padding in the arms and padding in the waist strap down there. All the plastic used in the Bergen on the Bergen is good, strong, hard quality plastic. I would argue that this is some kind of high grade ABS, but I may be wrong on that, but it's definitely solid. You know, even the flimsy parts like that, if you try and bend it, you can't move it, whereas if you were to go to a shop and get commercially available ones, I know from experience that you can bend things that are even a bit thicker than that with the commercial available plastics. The other things that you have here, you have extra loops you can hang things on, or you can actually put your thumbs through as you're walking to take a bit of slack off your back, or to take some of the weight off your back. With this particular one, because it is ex-army issue, you can see the guy's name there. It's got taped up. He's taped up the excess webbing here. That may not be the same with the bag that you get. That's probably just a personalisation, I would imagine. Of course, you've got molly webbing down the front, two sides, and at the side here we have, yes, the compression straps, but we also have a zip and zipped compartment. So if you had less in there, in the actual cavity of the bag, you can actually meet these two zips up and close up that space. The other and there's the same on the opposite side. The other feature of this particular part is that you can add two additional 10-litre pouches. Those pouches are commonly referred to as rocket pouches, and you buy them separately. But when you put those pouches on, they clip in via these clips here, via the clips at the bottom, and they zip in there also. So you end up with a very secure pouch that is virtually a part of the gear itself. Those pouches, with the addition of a very lightweight yoke, can become a very nice small rucksack day pouch also. Right, I think I've gone through the major features of this. What I'm going to do is empty it out to show you what I've got in there at the moment, and then show you the internal spaces. Okay guys, I've just taken us onto the handheld version of the camera. I want to show you what was essentially inside. As I mentioned, it's not an exact kind of normal setup that I've got. It's not a complete setup, but there is much space. I'd probably argue there's probably 20 litres left in the pack to use, but we've got some impressive things here. We have a dry sack there that has my Gore-Tex bivvy in. We have another dry sack there with loo paper in, very essential. We have some kind of camera equipment here. We have my SC4 knife, my Baco Laplander, first aid kit, always essential even if you're going out for a small day kind of camp, day hike. Again, it's not too warm here. We are in the summer, but an emergency blanket just in case you need it. Bushbox XL, some hanks of paracord, some working gloves just to keep my hands nice and sort of cut free and presentable. We got some ABS 6-inch pegs there, a hat just because in case I got cold, I guess. My fire starting tin. We've got a folding sort of foam seat there. Behind we have the I can't think what it's called, Yugoslavian mess tin set. That excellent piece of kit in that green dry sack there is my tarpaulin. Next to that we have my 4-season sleeping bag, and of course we have the NATO 5-season roll mat there. And if you haven't seen the video on that, I'd go and check it out. I'll put a link on the screen right about now, probably there or something. There we go, make it nice and simple. So that's the bag now without anything in it, and there was tons of space left. So I'd argue that there's enough there to have a good camp. You've got a roll mat so you can lie down on the floor. You've got a seating mat if you want to sit down places. You've got a tarpaulin that you can place into any configuration. You've got a Gore-Tex bivvy, which means you can just lie out and face the elements while you've got your sleeping bag inside of that. You've got a way to make fire and cook food, and containers and things there to be able to process that food. You've got things to process wood here, knives, saws. You've got a first aid kit, hanks of cord to erect a shelter as well with the ABS pegs. So you've got pretty much something that you could go and at least be comfortable in nature with at a grab, and there was still about 20 litres more worth of space in there. So water, food easily could fit in there, and then when you consider that you can place onto here 2 more 10-litre pouches, another 20 litres, that could be like water, food, anything. You've got a really great piece of kit here, guys. It can cinch down to next to nothing. Now let me show you inside. So we have the zip on the lid here, that's the outer zip. It opens up from the sideways position. The inside lid opens up along the top, so I'll go to the correct orientation to make things easier for you guys. So now we're looking at the bag in the correct orientation. You put your hand in there. That is some kind of waterproof material in there as well. This bag is extremely water resistant. I've been in a few showers with it and nothing got even remotely wet. We've got the big skirt liner here. Again, nice kind of thick waterproofing material. I'm assuming this is how we get into the back support. So actually, I'm going to pop the camera down for just a second to unpop those. I'm going to need both hands. So just while you get a lovely view of... Oh, yeah, they are very stiff. But you want them to be stiff. You don't want this thing popping open on you. Excellent. Okay. So we have here a great back support. Let me show you. So we have the back support in there. It's made of metal, and I won't take it out, but that's what's going to be keeping your bag nice and rigid. I'm going to be protecting your back from all of the things potentially sticking in it. That's the side pockets. The front pocket here, again, pretty standard for a pocket, and that's essentially it. It's a great piece of kit, and it cinches down to next to nothing. Nice padding on the. Let's flip this over a second. Show you the padding on the back. You can see the grooves here. The articulations allow for greater manoeuvrability. Very thick padding. We're looking like I'd say about 1.5 centimetres worth of padding here at the back. Something similar. Well, we've got about 1 centimetre there in the arms, and about 1 centimetre down here in the waist strap. That's it. Let me talk you through the benefits. For me, one of the best features of the British Army Bergen is the fact that you've got so much more space. You've got that 100 litres if you fill the skirt right up to the top. You've got that's just the major compartments, but then you've got the 5 litres in the lid as well with the different areas, and that extra little pouch area on the front. You can then cinch it all down. So even if you put all awkward size shapes and of things in there, it doesn't matter. They're not going to rattle around, and you're not going to have extra space. You can cinch up all of those compression straps, draw the drawstrings in, and everything fits snugly on your back without too much movement and rattling going on. The fabric itself is very hard wearing. As I mentioned, it is the 1000 denier Cordura fabric, so it is long lasting. It takes a lot to beat that down. This particular model that I've got is an ex-army issue, and has been used in the field. So I've got someone's name on there. Let me just have a look. Van der Gelder. There. Van der Gelder, I've got your pack now. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. You're probably happy that you're not having to cart it around doing military exercises. So I've got that pain right now. It's a great thing to have someone else's pack. I always feel like it's a privilege almost, or someone else's item that they've used. You know it's been out there, you know it's been tested, and someone's run it through the mill and it's still in great condition. I really, really like that. Apart from it being very well constructed and hard wearing, you've got that modular system as well, those rocket pouches as they call, which can even be turned into a day pack of their own. The fact that they can fit on makes it extra space, so you can have more food, more water, or just more things that you want to take out with you. For me as well, I've had a lot of people asking about how to hide a bedroll. They don't want to be seen to be going out camping in the woods, and as you've seen with my previous videos, I normally have my bedroll strapped to the bottom of my pack in my lumbar region, normally with just a pair of compression straps. Some people don't like that for two reasons. One, as I mentioned, people can look at you and go, he's going camping, he's going to be sleeping somewhere. And if it's not permitted, you're going to be found out a lot easier. And even if it is permitted, it might not be permitted that you can sleep there. It's just access land. So people are going to raise an eyebrow, people are going to know what you're doing at a glance essentially. The other reason people don't like it is that for example, if the bag is your body width, it sticks out beyond your body width. So all of a sudden you've got other things to think about. You're not just thinking about your size and shape moving through the wilderness, moving through those branches there. You have a new size to think about that you're not normally walking with. So you're going to snag it on things, you're going to catch it on things, you're going to get yourself stuck in places and shock yourself. All types of things that people don't like. With this particular Bergen, because it's so large, it just goes in. As I showed you earlier, just lengthways all the way in, so it solves that problem. In the past, I've owned commercially available rucksacks of about the same size. None of them I still have to full capacity. The zips break, the toggles break, the compression straps tear off on the seams, literally rip out. Terrible as that is. The material breaks down, you get holes in it. They're just not up to the same kind of quality as the British Army standard. So for less, in most cases, at least the same price, and in lots of cases less, I can think of one particular rucksack that cost me nearly £150 that is now in the loft somewhere, and it's probably just got some old clothes in or something like that, and it's been demoted to essentially a bin bag rather than an actual rucksack. You're going to get one of these Bergens for a lot less than that. The British Army Bergen. Strong, reliable and spacious. Buy this and more at meanandgreen.com.